Hi, I'm going to go over a few things with you that's going to help you as you start this first week of Take Shape for Life program. I'm Janice, and I am going to be your health coach, and I'm so excited for you to start this and to see the benefits that this program has to offer. I want to visit with you these first 3 or 4 days as you get started to answer questions, to make sure that you understand what the information that's in the Quickstart guide so that you can be successful as you do this ongoing. The first 3 days, I want to visit with you mainly to answer those questions. On day 4, you should be in fat burning and you will have more energy. You won't be as hungry. And so it's going to be a different feeling. And so that's why it's important that we visit. If you are unable to call and we're unable to do a live talk on the phone, then send me a text and let me just know how you're doing. And that would be great. Want to schedule a time with you after that where we can visit at least on a weekly basis, either on Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So let me know what your schedule is, whether we can talk during the day, whether it needs to be at your lunch hour or in the evening. I want to see how you're feeling with your progress for weight loss, and then also how you're doing in the book and workbook and what you're learning there, and to help you navigate through that information. So first, in the box that you just got, you got this welcome notebook. This Habits of Health Lifestyle. In this pamphlet right here, it kind of just talks about where you started preparing for your journey. You've ordered your food. Obviously, you're going to start on the program, so you're on step 2. So that's what we're going to focus on right now, is the healthy body. And as you continue, then we're going to focus on the different areas to get all the way up to the stair step 6, to where you want to be and where you feel good. So it's good just to read through this pamphlet. It's got a lot of good information. On this first page is the Quickstart Guide and the Habits of Health System. So you got the Quickstart Guide in your in this notebook as well. And we're just going to go through some information in there right now. So I call this kind of the Bible to get you through the program. If you have questions that come up, you're probably going to find the answer in here. So it talks about the meat portion that you're going to be preparing on your own. You know, you eat the 5 MetaFast meals every 2.5 to 3 hours, but then you prepare the 1 meal on your own. And that consists of protein and vegetables. So on this first page where it says the lean, it's got the leanest, leaner, and lean meats. And on the top, you'll see a top gray bar, and it'll say leanest, choose 7-ounce portion of cooked weight, and then you get to add 2 healthy fats. The meat in this top section does not have a lot of fat. That's why you get to add extra fat. In the lean, choose 5 ounces and then no healthy fats. So make sure you pay attention to those so you know what kind of extras you can have. So if you're having fish, it would be a great time to have a salad, because salad dressing is considered a healthy fat. Where if you have a hamburger, you'll probably just want lettuce with your hamburger, or have a salad with salsa instead of a salad dressing, because you don't need extra fat with that. So if you turn the page, on the top of the next page, it talks about the healthy fats and what you can have. And 1 teaspoon of, on the bottom, it says margarine. You are welcome to have butter there. If you don't eat margarine, that's just fine. Then the green, these are the vegetables that you're going to be having. So we've got the lower carb, moderate carb, and higher carbohydrate. You can have anything in any of those sections. So the lower carbohydrate, that's the 1 cup, is a lot of the leafy, the lettuces. So 1 cup equals 1 serving. But of everything else that's listed with the half a cup equals 1 serving, you get 3 servings of vegetables every day. So just choose what you want to. You can have 3 cups of green beans, or you can have a cup of green beans, a cup of asparagus, or excuse me, a half a cup. You can have 1 serving green beans, 1 serving of the asparagus. So just make a variety of whatever you want to do and do that. In your food journal that you also got in your welcome kit, 1 page is 4 days as you open that up. And there's a check mark. So you can mark what meat you had, and then also you can just check mark the vegetable. I'd recommend you write down which vegetable you actually had, so that down the road, if we need to modify something, we can see if you're eating mainly off of the higher carbohydrate or the lower carbohydrate vegetables. That's just helpful information. And then you mark the fats and the waters. And this is just a great journal tool to use. This is a month's worth of information that you're going to have in here. At the very beginning, you're going to want to do your start weight and what your measurements are. Okay. So back to the Quick Start Guide. After the vegetables, there's optional snacks. These are definitely optional. If you are not hungry or you do not need anything, you do not want to have the snack. They're only if you need it. So, and they're all listed there of what you can have, and notice on the nuts there is an quantity that you can have with that. Again, that's because there's fat in the nuts. The next page, it talks about the optional condiments, and be mindful of what the measurements do say. These are based on carbohydrates, and we want to keep you in that fat burning state. So it is very important that you follow what is recommended here. Again, these are optional. You do not need to have them if you do not want them. You can have up to 3 condiments per day. On the next page are optional meal suggestions, where it says breakfast first, MetaFast meal, and it lists eggs. You can have whatever meal you want to. You don't have to do the eggs. It's just kind of an outline of what your day is going to look like. The next day, tips for success. I sent you an email that had some of this information on there, but you can just skim through that information. And then going forward, it says, don't skip meals, eat slowly, be mindful of what you're eating, drink lots of fluid. Limit your caffeine, 300 milligrams a day. There's about 100 milligrams in a diet soda if you're choosing to continue to drink diet soda while you're on program. Eventually, one of the habits of health is to eliminate that. Avoid alcohol. Don't eat things on plan. Obvious things for you to be successful is to follow what this Quickstart guide says, and you will lose weight and you will feel good. So, and then it just continues through here, and I just recommend you reading the rest of this information. It talks about the transition once you get to that point, and then maintenance. Exercise, if you have a regular exercise routine, you are going to want to cut that in half for these first 3 weeks. If you do not have an exercise program at this point, then do not start one. With us cutting the calories, getting into a fat burning, and then you exercising a lot, your body's going to say, hey, you're cutting your calories and now you're expending more energy, and what am I supposed to do? It just really gets confused. So let's get you in a good fat burning, get you in good weight loss, and then we can add exercise in about 3 weeks. So you're going to want to eat your first meal within 30 minutes of getting up in the morning. If you do not do it within that 30 minutes, make sure you definitely do it within an hour. What that does is it just starts your metabolism. So it's a good habit just to, as soon as you get up and you can get that first meal in. You want to drink at least 64 ounces of water a day. And if you are over 200 pounds, then I'd recommend 80 ounces a day. The goal is to drink half of your body weight in ounces every single day. But if you are not a water drinker and you haven't been drinking that much, I don't want you to start at a high level. So it's a gradual workup that you're going to do. Make sure you eat all 5 of your MetaFast meals. Once you're in fat burning, you're not going to be as hungry, and you're going to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to save some calories here, so I'm not going to eat it. Our MetaFast meals are only about 100 calories, so you need to make sure that you eat all of them. If you don't, then your body's going to not get enough nutrition and the calories that it needs to stay in that fat burning, and we call that the starvation diet, and that is not what this is. This is a healthy weight loss. So even if it's 10 o'clock at night and you realize you have one more meal, go ahead and eat it. It is okay to eat right before you go to bed. And then our Habits of Health system in the workbook that you got in the Habits of Health big booklet workbook, or excuse me, the reading book. So in the workbook, it tells you what chapters go along with the reading. Do those together. Some people will just want to sit down and read through the book. And this isn't a quick read. This is information that you are going to absorb and learn and implement into your lifestyle. And so make sure that you do the work along with reading. And I will check up with you on as we visit on our weekly calls, just to see how you're doing and what you're understanding and what you're learning in that information. And then make sure you take advantage, sorry, couldn't think of that word, take advantage of the Habits of Health support call that we do, the nurse's call and the doctor's call. And those are a live weekly call, and they're also recorded. So if it doesn't fit into your schedule to be on the live call, just listen to the recording either on the way to work, home from work, on the weekend, whatever works. And in the back of the Quickstart guide, it has those phone numbers. So I would highly encourage you to do that. And good luck, and you're going to do great, and I look forward to visiting with you tomorrow. Give me a call if you have questions before you get started tonight. Thank you.